Shantel Jackson has found herself back in the middle of public speculation, and this time it has everything to do with timing, optics, and a reunion that's raising eyebrows across social media. Just when the spotlight seemed to be fully on Nelly and Ashanti's fairy tale love story, a rekindled romance that turned into marriage and parenthood, Jackson suddenly pops back up on the scene with none other than Floyd Mayweather. For fans who followed these storylines over the past decade, the coincidence is almost too neat to ignore. Many are convinced this yacht link-up wasn't just random, but a statement. The footage that set everything off appeared first on TikTok, before being reposted by gossip blogs and celebrity news accounts. On the deck of a sleek white yacht, Mayweather is seen lounging in a salmon pink shirt, chatting casually. Next to him is Shantel, dressed in chic black shades and a summer-ready outfit, turning her head in a deliberate hair flip as she adjusts her position. The clip is short and silent, but in the world of celebrity culture, actions don't need words. The mere image of these two sitting side by side was enough to send the internet spiraling with theories. What makes the scene so juicy is the context. In December 2023, after months of rumours, it was officially confirmed that Nelly and Ashanti had secretly tied the knot. The two, who first dated in the early 2000s and broke up in 2013, stunned fans when they reunited in 2022 after nearly a decade apart. From their red carpet appearances to joint performances, the chemistry was undeniable. Then came the pregnancy announcement, followed by the birth of their son in 2024. To fans, it was the ultimate love always wins story. Two stars who had unfinished business coming full circle. For Shantel, who dated Nelly from 2014 to 2021, the contrast couldn't be sharper. Their 7-year relationship was a serious one, with fans and media often speculating about when they might get married. But as Jackson later revealed, the relationship began in 2006 when she was just 21 years old. For years, she lived in his world of lavish cars, private jets, and high-profile fights. But beneath the surface, things were far from perfect. Court filings later revealed troubling accusations, with Jackson alleging abusive behavior and manipulation during their on-and-off relationship. By 2014, things imploded spectacularly when she was photographed with Nelly, sparking Mayweather's wrath. The feud between Mayweather and Nelly was no secret. Mayweather publicly shared private medical information about Jackson, including her terminated pregnancy, which ignited outrage and led Jackson to sue him. The lawsuit accused him of conversion, false imprisonment, battery, and emotional distress. While some aspects of the case were dismissed under California's anti-SLAPP laws, the messy public battle cemented their relationship as one of the most infamous celebrity breakups of the 2010s. For Jackson to now be seen with him again, nearly a decade later, feels like reopening a chapter many assumed was permanently closed. Fans have not forgotten the darker side of that relationship. On Lipstick Alley, commenters expressed concern rather than excitement. "Her self-esteem is in the sewer," one wrote bluntly. Another added, "How can you go back to a man who humiliated you like that? Money can't be worth your peace." Still, others framed it as calculated. She knows what she's doing. This isn't about Floyd. This is about making Nelly notice. Part of what makes Jackson such a lightning rod for attention is the way her personal life often intersects with her public statements and business moves. As the CEO of Shoe Gummy, a line of insoles designed for high heels, she's built a brand around independence and innovation. She's marketed herself as both a businesswoman and a reality star, with appearances on shows like Nellyville and The Platinum Life. But critics say her brand often gets overshadowed by her high-profile romances and the controversies that come with them. Her November 2024 comments about swearing off dating black men sparked one of her most intense backlashes yet. She admitted on social media, "I told myself like I told my mum, I told my dad, I laugh about it with my friend, and I would be like, I'm done dating black men." The statement was widely criticised as offensive and reductive, with many accusing her of projecting personal experiences onto an entire demographic. The fact that she is now back with Mayweather, a black man, only adds to the perception that she is inconsistent and opportunistic in her choices. Meanwhile, Nelly and Ashanti continue to enjoy their renaissance as one of hip-hop and R&B's favourite couples. Their wedding was reportedly an intimate yet glamorous affair, with friends describing it as everything Ashanti deserved. Their baby boy, born in 2024, has become a symbol of their fresh start, with both parents gushing about family life in recent interviews. The contrast between their stability and Jackson's seemingly cyclical relationship choices is hard for fans to ignore. But one thing that can't be denied is Jackson's ability to stay relevant. In a celebrity culture where timing and perception are everything, her decision, or even just her openness to be seen with Mayweather again, ensures she remains part of the conversation. Some believe she's reclaiming power by rewriting her narrative with her ex. Others think she's simply stirring the pot, ensuring that her name trends alongside Nelly and Ashanti whenever their story dominates the news cycle. Whether it's a genuine reunion, a publicity stunt, or a move born of complicated emotions, one thing is certain: Shantel Jackson knows how to keep people talking. And in today's media landscape, that in itself is a kind of power. Just as Nelly spun the block with Ashanti, Jackson has found her own way to circle back. But instead of a fairy tale, hers feels more like unfinished business. Fans may not approve, but they'll keep watching, commenting, and dissecting her every move. At the end of the day, this saga is less about who's really in love and more about how public figures like Shantel Jackson and Nelly navigate relationships under constant scrutiny. When they first came together, it seemed like a match that was built to last. Their love story began in 2014, just months after Jackson's very public and messy breakup with Floyd Mayweather. At the time, Jackson was trying to rebuild her image, and Nelly, fresh off his own heartbreak with Ashanti, was looking for stability and companionship. What started as casual dates quickly turned into something serious, with both of them becoming inseparable, in a way that made fans believe they had finally found their perfect match. Shantel was drawn to Nelly's charm and charisma, while Nelly was captivated by her beauty, poise, and drive. From the start, their relationship played out in the public eye. Jackson was often seen supporting Nelly at his performances, traveling with him on tour, and even appearing alongside him on his reality TV series, Nellyville. To many, she looked like the steady presence Nelly needed in his life, while he appeared to give her the sense of security and family that she seemed to crave. For 7 years, they were seen as one of hip-hop's most stable couples, even if they weren't always at the center of headlines. But like most high-profile romances, things weren't as perfect behind the scenes as they appeared in photos and red carpet moments. Early on, the relationship had its fair share of skeptics. Some believed Shantel was still emotionally entangled with Mayweather, especially given the lawsuit she filed against him in 2014, where Nelly himself was dragged into the drama. Others thought Nelly, who had always been vocal about his independence, wasn't ready to settle down again after his decade-long relationship with Ashanti ended. One of their first major bumps came in 2015, when rumours Nelly being unfaithful. Jackson was quick to dismiss the chatter, publicly defending her man, but insiders suggested that trust issues had already begun to creep into their relationship. Still, they pressed forward, with Jackson focusing on her business ventures like Shoe Gummy, while Nelly balanced his career in music, reality television, and fatherhood. Their dynamic was unique because of the family element. Nelly had 4 children he was raising, 2 biological and 2 adopted from his late sister, Jackie Donahue. Jackson stepped into that family life seamlessly, often pictured bonding with the kids and playing a motherly role. For a woman who had spoken openly about wanting a family of her own, the experience only deepened her desire to one day walk down the aisle and have children with Nelly. But this was also where one of their biggest conflicts began to brew. Shantel wanted marriage. She wanted to be a wife, to have children of her own, and to cement her role in Nelly's life officially. Nelly, on the other hand, seemed hesitant. Having already been through a long-term relationship with Ashanti that ended without marriage, he was careful about making commitments he didn't feel ready for. This tension became one of the defining struggles of their relationship. By 2017, people began to notice that while they still looked happy together in public, The question of marriage lingered unanswered. Interviews with Nelly often included direct questions about whether he planned to propose, and though he never dismissed the idea outright, he also never gave a definitive timeline. Jackson, meanwhile, started to drop subtle hints on social media about her hopes for a ring, fueling speculation about whether the couple was truly on the same page. The turning point came in 2018 when Nelly faced legal troubles of his own. Accusations of sexual assault surfaced against him, casting a shadow over his career and personal life. Jackson stood firmly by his side during this period, posting supportive messages and appearing at his court dates. Her loyalty earned her praise from some fans who saw her as a ride-or-die partner, willing to stand by her man in tough times. But behind closed doors, the stress of the legal battles reportedly took a toll on their relationship. By 2019, cracks were starting to show more openly. Sources close to the couple suggested they were arguing more frequently, often about their future together. Shantel's desire for marriage and children had only grown stronger as she approached her mid-30s, while Nelly continued to dodge the subject. Friends said Jackson felt like she had invested years into the relationship without a clear payoff, and she began to question whether she was wasting her time. In 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic put additional strain on the couple. Like many, they were forced to spend more time together than ever before, and while some relationships thrived under the circumstances, theirs did not. Arguments priorities, commitment, and lifestyle choices became more frequent. At the same time, Jackson was trying to grow her business, which sometimes clashed with Nelly's hectic schedule as a performer and TV personality. Despite the turmoil, they continued to present a united front publicly. They celebrated birthdays together, appeared in Instagram posts, and even did interviews where they spoke warmly of each other. But by late 2021, the writing was on the wall. Jackson finally admitted to herself that Nelly was not going to give her the marriage and family she wanted, and she made the decision to walk away. When the breakup became public, it was initially described as amicable. Both parties avoided throwing shade, and Shantel even said in an interview that they were still on good terms. But over time, she began to reveal more details that hinted at the depth of their conflicts. In a candid Instagram live session in 2025, she confessed that she had been the one to leave, explaining, "I left because I wanted initially, space, to see maybe will the space bring us back together, or do I need this space because I just need to rip off that band-aid?" Her words suggested that the breakup was less about mutual agreement and more about her realizing she had to move on for her own peace of mind. Fans reacted with mixed emotions. Some sympathized with her, saying it was heartbreaking that she had given nearly a decade to a man who ultimately wouldn't commit. Others argued that Nelly had always been upfront about not rushing into marriage, and that Jackson should have accepted him for who he was, instead of trying to change him. Their fights weren't always about marriage, though. Like many couples, they had clashes over trust, communication, and priorities. Nelly's career often kept him on the road, while Shantel wanted stability. At times, jealousy also crept into the picture, fueled by Nelly's interactions with women in the entertainment industry. Shantel, who had already endured a high-profile relationship with Mayweather, marked by control and jealousy, reportedly for marriage and children, he turned around and gave those very things to someone else. This twist in the story reignited debates about their relationship. Some argued that Nelly simply wasn't meant to be with Shantel, and that his connection with Ashanti was deeper and more enduring. Others felt that Shantel had been for Shantel. The relationship shaped much of her public identity, but it also became a cautionary tale about knowing when to walk away. For Nelly, it was another chapter in his complex love life, one that eventually led him back to Ashanti. Together, they created memories that will always be part of their legacies. Even if they didn't end up walking down the aisle together, their love story may have ended in separation, but it remains one of the most talked about romances in hip-hop culture, a reminder that sometimes love isn't enough when two people want different things out of life.